nothing that we are witnessing now is new. At this moment in time, AAPI people are reeling from multiple forms of violence. The Atlanta massacre, racial assaults that we see daily in the news and experience ourselves in New York City, California, Texas, all over the country and the world. Physical and verbal harassment, mass deportations, and all of this on top of the shock of our communities experiencing one of the highest COVID death rates due to how many healthcare workers are AAPI. Although the news cycle might already be moving on, it's critically important for us to give ourselves enough time to grieve and process what is happening. As we move through our emotions, it's equally important that we support each other and encourage our communities and allies in developing an analysis of the violence that clearly identifies the root cause, which is white supremacy culture. I did not say white people, I said white supremacy culture, which has othered, excluded, bullied, fetishized, and instigated violence against us socially, legally, and physically since the very first Asians were brought from Asia to work hard labor in America. This analysis helps us stop our communities from falling for the divide and conquer tactics of white supremacy culture. It also reminds us more policing will not keep our communities safe. It will only harm Black and brown communities, those very same communities that we must show up for and build solidarity with in much greater force if we are to create the momentum we need for true systemic transformation of our institutions. Every day, we hear of more violent assaults on the news and in social media. We hear directly from our family members and loved ones of harassment and attacks that they have experienced. I will admit that some days I feel lost and I feel hopeless about our prospects for changing this society that has so much toxic racism woven into its very DNA. Then I remind myself that hope is not something that I can have or not have. It's a daily practice. It's all about choices. And one of the most hopeful choices we can make is to build community and then work within that community to identify where and how each of us can make systemic change. That might mean hitting the streets in protest, but not necessarily. It might mean calling in your children's school teachers and principals to eliminate racism in their curriculum. I know from experience this is a thing that needs to happen in 2021. It might mean moving your money to community banks to support people of color who have been historically excluded from lending, including AAPI communities. It might mean supporting better access to healthy foods in neighborhoods like Rockaway that have been denied access by design. It might also mean supporting organizations like Benny's Club and Laru Beya, who encourage people of color who might not otherwise have access to the beautiful art that is surfing. Community is what makes surfing at 67th and 69th Street such an awesome experience, and it's what keeps us safe. We keep us safe. I encourage all of us to support each other in thinking about where our own levers of power are and taking action to the best of your own abilities and talents. There are some cards on the table with AAPI organizations on the back. Please take a photo and check out the resources that these organizations have compiled. Also take some stickers and stick them all over New York City. Allies, one really concrete thing that you can do to support AAPI siblings in this harrowing moment is to sign up for a bystander intervention training offered by Hollaback. Safe Walks NYC has also been organizing safety escort services, so please check them out if you want to volunteer or if you feel you need an escort home to be safe. I want to thank everyone again for coming out in this beautiful show of solidarity. You have no idea how much it means to see you here.
Oh, the paddle out was great.
Yeah.
I really got to give it up to Momo and Kat, how they organized this, and Jungwon, like, really so meaningful. I think everyone can really take something out of this. It's bigger than us. Oh man, I'm not good with words. I'm better with just feeling all the things, you know. It means a lot. I think just from the first symbolic kind of gesture of having us kind of protected was really huge. That just as an act, like just the formation was really, that really got me choked up. Just because I feel like so much of, you know, a lot of what you know, people of color in general, I think, experience is so, maybe, there are things that are very obvious and overt, but there's so much that's under the surface. And I think this year, you know, like a lot of permission has been given to people to kind of externalize that kind of hate and bias and all these like whack feelings, you know, feeling emboldened to kind of voice it out loud. And it just triggers all the things that we've always felt, and also all the microaggressions and things that aren't named. I mean, I think what Jungwon said, like, you feel that kind of aggression and the bullying, whatnot, and it stops just short of the racial verbalizations, but it's there, you feel it, you know it. And so to kind of see this outpour of support and so many people who've showed up, you know, of not just Asian people, but just their whole New York community, you know, everybody, it's just so meaningful, really meaningful. It drowns out the bullshit, you know.
Just wanted to give a big thank you to Catherine Mao, Momo Hughes, and Jungwon Kim for helping to organize this paddle out. Thank you all for listening, and in the copy of this episode you can find different resources and how you can get involved to help. Thank you. Take care.